Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak English with Cath. I'm so happy you're here today. If you're listening while relaxing, commuting, or taking a quiet moment for yourself, you chose a wonderful time to practice English. Today, we're going to talk about something very real and very human. We will learn how to talk about feeling overwhelmed and how to ask for help in English. Many English learners know how to talk about happy moments, but when life feels heavy, it can be hard to find the right words. That's why today's lesson will help you express your feelings clearly and calmly. And of course, I'm here with Lester.
Hi everyone. I'm really glad we're talking about this. Sometimes I want to explain how I feel, but I don't know the right words. I worry that I might sound negative or weak.
That's a very honest feeling, Lester, and it's actually very common. Talking about stress or pressure doesn't make you weak. It shows self-awareness. And when you can express it in English, you build both language skills and confidence. Let's start with a simple question. Lester, how have you been feeling lately?
To be honest, I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed. Work has been busy and I have many small things to do at home. I feel like my mind never really rests.
That's a great sentence, very natural. You said, I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed. The phrase a bit makes it softer and polite. Instead of sounding too strong, it sounds calm and thoughtful. Let's repeat together slowly. I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed.
I like that phrase because it sounds honest but not dramatic.
Exactly. Now let's explore a short real-life conversation. Imagine you're talking to a friend after a long week. I'll start and you respond naturally. Hey Lester, you seem a little quiet today. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I think I'm just tired. It's been a busy week and I feel like I'm trying to do too many things at once.
That's very natural English. Trying to do too many things at once is a great way to explain stress. Let's highlight another useful phrase. It's been a busy week. This is simple, but it's something native speakers say all the time. Now let's build the conversation a little deeper. I might respond like this. I understand. Do you want to talk about it?
That question feels kind and supportive. If someone asks me that, I would feel safe to share more.
Yes, and this is an important cultural point. In English conversations, asking gentle questions shows care. It doesn't mean you must share everything, but it opens the door. So, Lester, if you decided to share, what might you say?
Maybe I'd say, I think I'm putting too much pressure on myself. I want everything to be perfect.
That is a powerful sentence, putting too much pressure on myself. Let's repeat it slowly because it's very useful. Putting too much pressure on myself. This phrase is great for work, study, or personal life. It shows self-reflection, and it sounds very natural. Now let's talk about feelings more deeply. Many learners know words like tired or busy, but when we want to express emotions, we often use longer phrases. For example, I feel mentally tired, or I feel emotionally drained, or I feel like I need a break. Lester, which one sounds closest to how you feel?
I think I feel like I need a break fits me the most. It sounds gentle, not too serious.
That's right. And notice the structure. I feel like I need. This is very flexible. You can say, I feel like I need some rest, or I feel like I need a day off, or I feel like I need some quiet time. Let's practice a short speaking moment together. I'll ask and you answer with the same structure. When work gets stressful, what do you feel like you need?
I feel like I need to step away for a moment and breathe.
That's beautiful and very natural. Step away for a moment is a calm and mature expression. Now, let's imagine another real-life situation. You're talking to a colleague at work. You want to be honest, but still professional. I'll play the colleague. Hey, Lester, how's your workload this week?
It's a little heavy, but I'm managing. I might need a bit more time to finish everything.
Excellent. That response is polite and realistic. You didn't complain, but you communicated clearly. Let's break down why it sounds good. It's a little heavy, soft, and professional. I'm managing shows responsibility. I might need a bit more time, polite request. This is how English often works in professional settings. We soften our language to keep the conversation comfortable. Now I want to talk about another important skill, asking for help. Many learners feel shy about this. Lester, do you ever feel nervous asking for help in English?
Yes, sometimes. I worry that I'm bothering people. I don't want to sound demanding.
That's very understandable, but asking for help is a normal part of communication, and English has many polite ways to do it. For example, could you help me with this? Or, would you mind taking a look? Or, do you have a moment to talk? These phrases sound respectful and friendly. Let's try a short role play. You're feeling overwhelmed with a task and you come to me.
Cath, do you have a moment? I'd really appreciate your advice on something.
That's excellent. I'd really appreciate your advice sounds warm and grateful. I might reply, of course, what's going on?
I'm working on this project and I want to do it well, but I'm not sure if I'm focusing on the right things.
That's a great way to explain uncertainty. Notice how Lester didn't say, I don't know anything. Instead, he said, I'm not sure if I'm focusing on the right things. This sounds thoughtful and confident. Now let's talk about emotions again, because language is not only about information, it's also about connection. Sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, we also feel guilty. We might think we should be stronger or more productive. Lester, have you ever felt that?
Yes, definitely. Sometimes I think other people can handle more than me. Why am I struggling?
Thank you for sharing that. That thought is very common, and this is where language can help us be kinder to ourselves. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, we can say, I'm doing my best, or I just need a little support right now. These sentences are simple, but they change the emotional tone. Let's say it together slowly. I'm doing my best.
That sentence feels comforting. It sounds like something I could tell myself during a hard day.
Exactly. And speaking kindly to yourself in English also builds fluency because it becomes natural inner speech. Now let's move into a longer conversation, like one you might have with a close friend. I'll start. You've seemed a bit stressed lately. Do you want to talk?
Yeah, I think I've been trying to balance too many responsibilities. I want to do well at work, but I also want time for myself.
That's very clear and relatable. Balance too many responsibilities is an excellent phrase. If I were the friend, I might say, that sounds really tough. Have you been able to rest at all?
Not much. Even when I'm free, my mind keeps thinking about what I still need to do.
That's a powerful sentence and very natural English. My mind keeps thinking about what I still need to do is a great structure to describe mental stress. Let's pause for a moment and reflect. Notice how this conversation uses simple words, but the meaning is deep. This is the beauty of everyday English. You don't need complicated vocabulary to express real emotions. Before we continue, I want you, the listener, to think about your own life. When was the last time you felt overwhelmed? And what would you say in English? You could start with, I've been feeling, or lately I've been. Lester, if you were speaking directly to the listeners, what would you tell them?
I'd say it's okay if you don't find the perfect words right away. Even simple sentences can express your feelings. The important thing is to speak honestly.
That's wonderful advice, and it's true. Fluency is not about using big words. It's about being clear, natural, and sincere. Let's continue exploring how to respond when someone shares their feelings, because conversation is always two-sided. If a friend says, I've been feeling really stressed, you could respond with, I'm sorry to hear that, or that sounds difficult, or I'm here if you want to talk. These responses show empathy. Empathy means you understand and care about someone's feelings. Lester, which response feels the most natural to you?
I'm here if you want to talk feels very warm. It doesn't pressure the person, but it shows support.
Exactly, and this is a key part of natural English conversation, giving emotional space. As we continue, you'll notice that talking about feelings is not only about vocabulary, it's about tone, rhythm, and intention. When you speak slowly and clearly, your words sound more sincere. And that's what we're practicing together today, not just English, but confident and human communication.
You know, Kath, something I notice is that when I'm overwhelmed, I often stay quiet. I don't share how I feel because I think I should solve everything by myself.
That's a very honest observation. Many people believe they have to handle everything alone. But in reality, sharing your thoughts can reduce stress. And in English, there are many gentle ways to open up. For example, you can say, "I've had a lot on my mind lately." This phrase is very natural and not too heavy. It simply means you've been thinking about many things.
I like that. It sounds calm and thoughtful. Let me try. I've had a lot on my mind lately, and I think I need to slow down.
That's excellent. "I think I need to slow down" shows self-awareness. It tells people you're reflecting on your situation, not just complaining. Now, let's imagine a new scenario. You're talking to a close friend after a long day. You want to explain why you seem distant. I'll start the conversation. "You seem a bit distracted today. Is something bothering you?"
I guess I've just been feeling a little overwhelmed. There's nothing seriously wrong, but I feel mentally tired.
Beautifully said. That's a perfect example of how to be honest without sounding dramatic. You used "a little overwhelmed" and "mentally tired," which sound balanced and natural. If I continue as the friend, I might say, "Thanks for telling me. Do you want to talk about what's been stressful?"
Maybe just talking will help. I think I've been putting too many expectations on myself.
That's a powerful phrase, putting too many expectations on myself. It means you feel pressure to achieve high standards. Let's pause for a moment and practice pronunciation together slowly. Expectations. It's a longer word, but very useful in emotional conversations. Now let's explore another situation, this time in a workplace environment. Imagine you need to tell your manager that you're feeling overloaded, but you want to sound professional. I'll be the manager. "Hi, Lester. I wanted to check in. How are things going with your tasks?"
Thanks for asking. I'm making progress, but I've been feeling a bit stretched lately. I want to make sure I'm doing my best work.
That's excellent professional language. The phrase "feeling a bit stretched" is very natural in work settings. It suggests you're busy without sounding negative. If I respond as the manager, "I appreciate your honesty," would it help to adjust the timeline?
Yes, I think a little more time would help me focus better and deliver higher quality work.
Perfect. That's clear, respectful, and confident. Notice how Lester explained the benefit: better focus and higher quality. This makes the request sound reasonable and responsible. Now let's talk about another important communication skill: describing emotional states with nuance. Instead of only saying "stressed," you can use different expressions depending on intensity. For example, you can say, "I feel a bit under pressure," "I feel emotionally drained," "I feel like I'm running out of energy." Each one paints a slightly different picture. Lester, which one feels strongest to you?
I feel emotionally drained sounds the strongest. It feels like you have nothing left inside.
Exactly. That phrase is deeper and more intense. Meanwhile, "a bit under pressure" sounds lighter and more temporary. Let's practice using them in short sentences.
Okay. I feel a bit under pressure because of deadlines. I feel like I'm running out of energy after a long week.
Those are excellent examples, very clear and natural. Now I want to explore what happens after we express stress. Often, the next step is talking about what we need. This is where communication becomes very powerful. You might say, "I just need some time to recharge." Recharge is a great word. It's like a phone battery. It means resting so you can have energy again.
I love that metaphor. It's easy to understand. Let me try. I'm planning to take the weekend to recharge.
That sounds perfect. Calm and positive. Now let's move into a longer role play that feels like real life. Imagine you're talking to a friend at a cafe. You want to be honest about your feelings, but you also want to stay hopeful. I'll begin. It's really nice to see you. How have you been?
I'm glad we met today. I didn't realize how much I needed a quiet conversation.
That's a beautiful sentence. I didn't realize how much I needed is very natural and emotional. I might reply, I'm always here to listen. What's been going on?
I think I've been trying to keep everything together, but inside I feel a bit overwhelmed. I want to stay positive, but some days are harder than others.
That's very real and relatable. And notice the balance. Lester acknowledged difficulty, but also expressed a desire to stay positive. This creates a hopeful tone. If I respond, that makes sense. Life can get heavy sometimes. What helps you feel calmer?
Usually taking a walk or talking to someone I trust helps me clear my mind.
Excellent. Clear my mind is a very useful phrase. It means to reduce mental noise or stress. Let's repeat together slowly. Clear my mind. Now I want to speak directly to our listeners for a moment. When you learn phrases like these, try to connect them to your real life. Think about when you last needed to clear your mind. The more personal the connection, the easier it is to remember.
I've noticed that when I connect English phrases to my feelings, I remember them much better. It's like the language becomes part of my life.
That's exactly right. Language grows stronger when it connects to emotion, and when you can talk about your inner world, your confidence grows naturally. Let's continue with another scenario, this time with a family member. Sometimes it's harder to talk about feelings with people close to us. I'll be a sibling talking to you. You've seemed quiet lately. Is everything okay?
I think I've just been dealing with a lot mentally. I didn't want to worry anyone, so I kept it to myself.
That's a very natural response. I didn't want to worry anyone shows care and sensitivity. If I reply, you don't have to go through everything alone, you know.
I know. I think I'm learning that talking about how I feel actually makes things lighter.
That's a beautiful sentence. Makes things lighter is a gentle way to describe emotional relief. Now let's look at a small vocabulary moment. When we talk about stress, we often use verbs like handle, manage, or cope. They are similar, but slightly different. Handle and manage often refer to dealing with tasks or situations. Cope is more emotional. It means dealing with feelings. For example, I'm managing my workload. I'm coping with stress. Lester, can you try using cope in a sentence?
Sure. I'm still learning how to cope with pressure in a healthy way.
That's perfect. Very natural and thoughtful. As we continue this conversation, notice how the language stays simple, but the meaning becomes deeper. This is the key to sounding natural in English, not complicated grammar, but clear and sincere expression.
I'm starting to realize that talking about feelings in English isn't just vocabulary practice. It's also personal growth.
That's beautifully said. When you learn to express your emotions in another language, you build a new layer of confidence. You learn not only how to speak, but how to connect. And connection is the heart of communication.
Something I've noticed while we talk is that when I put my feelings into words, they feel less confusing. It's like I can see them more clearly.
That's a wonderful insight. Language can bring clarity. When emotions stay only in our minds, they can feel heavy and unclear. But when we express them, even with simple sentences, they become easier to understand. Let's explore that idea a little more. Sometimes the hardest step is simply starting the sentence. A very gentle way to begin is, I've been thinking a lot about how I feel. This sentence gives you space. It doesn't rush. It invites conversation.
I like that it sounds calm and reflective. I've been thinking a lot about how I feel, and I think I need to make some changes.
That's a powerful sentence. It shows growth and self-awareness. Notice how you didn't say something negative. You focused on change and progress. That's a very positive communication style.
Now let's imagine a moment where you're talking to a friend who asks how you're doing after a stressful period. I'll begin. It's been a while since we talked. How are you feeling these days?
I feel better than before. I'm still busy, but I'm learning to take things one step at a time.
That's a beautiful phrase, one step at a time. It shows patience and balance. This is the kind of expression that feels encouraging, both for you and for the person listening. If I respond, I'm glad to hear that. What helped you the most?
I think learning to talk about my stress helped. I realized I don't have to carry everything alone.
That's such an important realization, and it's something many listeners can relate to. When we share our thoughts, we often discover support we didn't expect. Now I want to introduce another useful phrase. I'm trying to be kinder to myself. This sentence is simple but emotionally strong. It shows self-compassion, which is a beautiful quality in any language.
I really like that. I'm trying to be kinder to myself and not expect perfection.
That sounds very natural and wise. And the phrase, not expect perfection, is something many people need to hear. Let's move into another real-life scenario. Imagine you're finishing a long week and you're talking to a colleague on Friday afternoon. I'll begin. We made it to the end of the week. How are you holding up?
I'm a bit tired, but I feel proud of what I accomplished. I just need some time to rest and reset.
That's a wonderful balance of honesty and positivity. Rest and reset are a great pair of words. Reset suggests starting fresh, like pressing a restart button in your life. If I reply, that sounds like a good plan. Do you have anything relaxing planned?
Nothing big. I just want a quiet weekend so I can recharge and clear my head.
Perfect. That sentence sounds calm and intentional. Notice how Lester expressed a need without sounding negative. This is a key communication skill, being clear about what you need while keeping a positive tone. Now let's talk about how conversations often move toward encouragement. When someone shares progress, we naturally respond with support. If a friend says, "I'm trying to take better care of myself," you might reply, "That's really great to hear. I'm proud of you." That sounds like a healthy change. These responses build connection and trust.
I think encouragement is powerful because it makes people feel seen. Even simple words can lift someone's mood.
Absolutely. Encouragement is one of the most meaningful parts of communication. And when you can give it in English, your conversations feel warmer and more natural. Now I'd like us to have one final extended conversation, one that reflects growth after a period of stress. Imagine you're talking to a close friend who supported you. I'll begin. You seem more relaxed lately. I can see a difference in you.
I think I've learned to listen to myself more. I still have responsibilities, but I don't feel as overwhelmed as before.
That's wonderful progress. Listen to myself more is a beautiful expression. It shows emotional awareness. If I respond, what changed for you?
I started being honest about my limits. Instead of pushing myself too hard, I try to pause and ask what I really need.
That's very insightful. The phrase, being honest about my limits, is extremely natural and useful. It shows maturity and self-respect. If I continue, that sounds like a big step. How do you feel now compared to before?
I feel calmer. I still have busy days, but I don't feel lost in them. I feel more in control of my time and my energy.
That's a powerful statement. I don't feel lost in them. It paints a clear emotional picture. This kind of language is what makes conversations meaningful. You're not just exchanging information, you're sharing experiences and growth.
It's interesting because learning these phrases doesn't just improve my English. It changes how I think about my life, too.
That's the beauty of language learning. It's not only about words and grammar, it's about understanding yourself and others more deeply. Before we close today's episode, I want to speak directly to everyone listening. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, stressed, or unsure how to express your feelings in English, remember this: you don't need perfect vocabulary. You only need honesty and simple sentences. You can start with, "I've been feeling," or I think I need, or I'm trying to. These small phrases can open meaningful conversations.
And if you're nervous about speaking, just remember that everyone has emotions. When you talk about real feelings, people understand you more easily because they've felt the same way.
That's such a kind reminder. Communication is not about sounding perfect, it's about being real. As we finish our time together, take a moment to think about one sentence you could use today. Maybe it's, I'm doing my best, or I need a little time to rest. Say it slowly, let it feel natural. Language grows with practice, but confidence grows with kindness. Kindness towards yourself and towards your progress.
I feel really grateful for this conversation. It reminds me that learning English can also be a way to take care of ourselves emotionally.
I couldn't agree more. And to everyone listening, thank you for spending this time with us. Your dedication to learning, improving, and expressing yourself is something to be proud of. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and most importantly, keep believing that your voice matters.
We're so glad you joined us today. Take care of yourself and keep moving forward step by step.
Until next time, this is Cath from Speak English with Cath, wishing you calm days, confident conversations, and steady progress in your English journey. Goodbye, and take gentle care.